What is going on, guys? We are back at the Denton Farmpark in beautiful Denton, North Carolina. The Old Threshers reunion. We're gonna head down the bottom of the hill. You can already see there's lots of activity going on down there. Head into the south gate. Let's go look at the tractors. You've never been here before. It takes place every year over the 4th of July weekend. Today is Wednesday, July the 2nd. I do a 4th of July shutdown at work, so I can't come out here on the weekend, so this is my day, but it is located in Denton, North Carolina, just south of the town of Denton. It's in between Concord and Albemarle. They've been doing this for like 55 years, I think. And if you want to learn more, you can get on dentonfarmpark.com. They have other things going on besides this, but this is the main attraction. And I do believe this year's featured tractor is Ford. So we're going to check out some Ford here. And right as you walk in the gate here, there's a Ford 981 1959 model gold demonstrator. Select the speed, which is like a hydraulic shift. They either work or they don't work, is my understanding. I've never owned one. This is a gold demonstrator. Looking pretty sharp. Right beside it we have a pulling tractor. Pretty nasty, old nasty here. I don't know what this is. 800. I don't know if the 800's got the 134 red tiger in it. It's just turned up or not, but it's got a few modifications. And we got a 2000 industrial here. This is the first version of the 2000 series. Should be like a 61. Anyway, see what else we can find. Here's a good looking row of tractors. 7000 narrow front. This is a 1974. This says a 73 5200. That one says a 7200, which I assume it's got something that the upgraded, like they used to do the 600s. You start off with a 600, the base model, then you'd have a 610, 620, 630, 640, based on whatever was added, PTO, 3-point hitch, 4-speed, stuff like that. That was a narrow front. This is a wide front. Here's a 4000 narrow. It's got much bigger tires and rims on the back of it than mine does. This is a 74. Mine is a 68 model. This one's got a quite different, same dash. Definitely different setup on the hydraulics. Nice toolbox. That's what I need. Then this is a 4600, upgraded version of the 4000. 4610. These are newer. That's an 81. This is probably a mid 80s, late 80s model. Let's see if we can see on it. I don't see a tag on it. And then we got another 4000 narrow front, 72 model, row crop. That's probably the difference between mine and it. The row crop, different controls. Good looking set. And then we got a Ford 6000. Two of them. There's a blue one, white one over there. These are, I've seen a couple of these before. Actually, I've known some people who've had one, and they are an odd looking tractor. I'm not gonna say odd, just different than the style of the rest of them from this era. Of course, there's a 2N or a 9N. That's an 8N, 51 model. Okay, it's got the narrow front. 761 Workmaster, must be an industrial. And here's another Ford 6000 with the blue and white paint scheme. They got their Fords. I hope you guys like seeing Fords. There's a Fordson Major diesel. You don't see a lot of them around. And here is a County Super 6. Both of these, I do believe, are English tractors. I'm almost 100% positive that this is an English tractor. But so if there's one over here, it has been imported from England. I've seen these, I think, on an episode of Classic Tractor Fever. It's a tracked Fordson. Here's another County. And another one. 4-wheel drive. Beefy. These are beefy tractors. Here's a Ford 4000 row crop, a 5000 row crop, and another 6000 narrow front road crop. Here is an 59,881 Select-A-Speed Gold Demonstrator. Here's a Fortson with a front-mounted turn plow. Yeah. Here's a 960. I like these. I like the 960s. I like the way they look. The narrow front, sitting up high like that. I like it. Here's one like mine. Mine is technically a 640. I do believe the 640 is going to have the 4-speed transmission, PTO, 3-point hitch, just like mine. The top draft controls broke. This thing looks good. Then we got some high crops. These are both 1710s. This is a high crop. This one's got a set of cultivators on it. Fertilizer hopper. Here's an 8N. Narrow. A narrow front 8N is what it says. That's a narrow too then. Try not to get run over out here. 900. 960. Like I said, you'd have the base model, which is a 900. And every time they added something, I believe it went to like a 910 or a 920. And this one's a high crop too. It's got long drop spindles, big rims on it. The back, tall rims. 700. I don't know if I've ever even seen a 700. Two in, 19 and 42. It says a 45 model, but here's a Fortson with a front-mounted turn plow. There's Smokey the Bear. That's been new since I didn't make it here last year because of the way the shutdown at work lined up. I couldn't come, but so I ain't been here in 2 years. Smokey wasn't here 2 years ago. Let's just walk around and take a look at some tractors. Alice Chalmers G. There's another 8N. Another 8N. Plenty of 8Ns. Ooh, there's an old Super A. It's got part of the hiller, like planting potatoes and stuff. Part of the drive gear for the planter and fertilizer distribution. There's a old 4020. Nice looking H. Now this is a Jubilee. It is a 1953. They made the Jubilee in 53 and 54. This is a true Jubilee. Now a lot of people will talk about the 600. It's basically very similar to a 600. It's got the same style grille and hood, and a lot of people will refer to that whole series as a Jubilee. But this is a true Jubilee, if in fact it is a 53 model. But it's pretty much a 600. I believe it's got the 134 Red Tiger engine, overhead valve engine. So there you go, true Jubilee. Here we got a 1958 Ford 641 Workmaster gas and a 601 Workmaster diesel. These would have been the ones that come after the 600. I think they're essentially the same tractor. They may at some point switched over to like wet brakes, but it's got the same hydraulic pump as the 600. Looks the same anyway. Same configuration. This one has had the intake. I don't know if that's strictly to the diesel. They moved this. And of course a little cub. I think this is what I need right here. MX 4900. Loader, 4-wheel drive, cab, 3-point. This is just too much. I don't know how much they want for it, but I offered him $1,000 and he just kind of looked at me like, get out of my face. 49.3. It could be yours. AC, heated cab. God, 50 G's. That really ain't bad. I mean, I ain't buying it, but one of y'all should. If you want to get it, it's at St. Farm Equipment in Lexington, North Carolina. This bad boy here is 90. Here's a big old John Deere 4020, one of the most famous John Deeres of what they would call the muscle tractor era. This is a 69 John Deere 4020. It's a good looking tractor. Some newer model John Deeres. This one says it is a 89 John Deere loader. Alice Chalmers WD, probably the most famous Alice Chalmers they make. Here comes one of my personal favorites, Farmall Super A. It's what my grandfather farmed with for 100 years. Might have to seek a little shelter here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's rain falling from those clouds. A little bit north of us. Looks like it's gonna miss us, but we're gonna stay close to this shelter in case we need to seek shelter. I believe this is the most tractors I've ever seen here. I've probably been here 8 or 10 times. And this is the most tractors I've ever seen here. Here's a fairly rare tractor. It's a 1949 Farmall B. They got a passenger seat added on that thing. You don't see too many Bs, at least not around here. We're getting a few sprinkles, but I won't melt. You know what I mean? We're going on this. Like I said, there's tons of tractors. H, M, another M, 540s, another M, 641 Powermaster. This is the most tractors I've ever seen here. They are just everywhere. Fords and Farmalls, baby, can't go wrong. There's a F30. Gotta watch out, you get run over right here. Starting to rain a little bit heavier now. Maybe we gotta seek shelter. I don't want to float away. There it is, boys. They were around 990. This one's a lot newer than mine. After they'd merged with Case. It looks virtually the same, except for the fenders. Nice. John Deere B. Good gracious, here's a Farmall 100. You talk about something you don't see every day. Right here is something you do not see every day. We're waiting out the rain, but it ain't gonna be too much longer. We'll be back on our tractor journey again. All right, the rain is slacked off. We're gonna continue our search here. We're gonna look at some tractors, but we're gonna continue to search. We're trying to find a MV and a MD and a Super MTA to add to our featured Model M. These are just standard M's here. The tractors for days. Here's the first Generation 1 Farmall 4000. It's kind of like the same transmission, looks like. Gearbox. It's a row crop. This would have been the first before they got their own thing going on later. Like mine, 68. I think 68 was the first year of the second gen. W6 International, big old standard. What they would have called a Wheatland. Some people would have called a Wheatland. It's just a drawbar, just a pull tractor. It does have a PTO though. Cubs, lots of Cubs, lots of JDs. There is a 450. This would have been the M. The 400 would have replaced the M, and then this would have replaced the 400. These are good looking tractors. They sound good. I like them a lot. Got that classic late 50s style. Still no MD. I'm gonna go get some ice cream. Number one way to eat ice cream at a tractor show, and this is it. Well, peach ice cream was delicious. Here's the sawmill, but they're not running it. God, what a piece of poplar. I think they're running the shingle mill down here. Let's go check that out. There's the veneer maker. Farmall 8 down here. Steam dryer, yeah, they're making cedar shingles. Well, that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to wrap it up from the 2025 Denton Farmpark Old Threshers reunion. I think we found all Farmall M's except for an MDTA, a super. I assume they make a super MDTA. Anyway, it's probably the most tractors I've ever seen. Definitely that I've ever seen here. Maybe I've ever seen in my life. But if you guys made it this far, appreciate you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.